Whether you are a first-time investor looking to acquire your first property or wondering how to scale your portfolio profitably, this video will ensure that you are in a position to win your next deal. There are almost numerous ways to invest in real estate. These range from building houses to renting out a field to a farmer lending funds to a house flipper. Real estate investing is the process of not spending money now, which means saving up your money to be able to spend or give more later. By deferring the spending of this money and placing it into investments in the meantime, the money will grow, hopefully at a rate faster than inflation. As a general rule, the more risk you take on, the higher your potential return. Real estate investing is a fairly risky way to invest. Thus, it often produces high returns, and your money grows quickly compared to a less risky investment, such as a savings account. A real estate investment is simply an investment that involves real property, such as empty land, a house, a warehouse, a shopping center, or an apartment building. Real estate is considered an investment because it generally increases in value over time and produces income in the form of rents. There are two main categories of real estate investments: debt and equity. Within these categories, there are both publicly traded and privately traded real estate investments. Most investors are familiar with the concepts of equity or stock and debt, which is bonds. These concepts carry over into the real estate world and mean essentially the same thing. With equity real estate investing, you are the owner of the property. A property is just a business, and all profits from the business go to you. Any appreciation increase in value of the business property between the time it is bought and sold is also all yours, at least after you pay any taxes due. If the business loses money in any given year, that's your loss. If it increases in value between the time it is bought and sold, that is also your loss. This is the riskiest, but generally, in the long run, the most rewarding way to invest. It is the equivalent of buying stock in a company. You can lose your entire investment, and depending on how much leverage you used, even more. In the public market, some investments sit between equity and debt, often called preferred stock or convertible bonds. There is a similar investment in real estate called mezzanine debt or preferred equity. Risk and return are intermediate between equity and debt investments. Mezzanine debt and preferred equity give the borrower or the sponsor of a deal leverage options in addition to common equity, the portion that the equity investors own of the property and the hard money. You are generally paid a higher interest rate on mezzanine debt because you are not in the first lien position. If the property must be foreclosed on, the person in the first, then the person N must get all of their capital back before they get a penny. With preferred equity, you get paid before the common equity folks, but have a cap on how much you will be paid. Real estate investment success comes down to understanding which properties generate positive cash flow, how to leverage current tax law to optimize your income, and gaining equity by winning the negotiation. If you are ready to build a real estate portfolio that will create income for your family and leave a legacy of wealth, this is the event for you. Tickets are free, but seating is limited. This video is not intended to solicit clients currently engaged in a representation agreement with a real estate agent. If you are working with a realtor, we still encourage you to come, but please let us know in advance that you are working with a realtor. An investment you can touch. For many investors, the appeal is that when you're buying a rental property, it's an asset that you can see and feel. If you want to know how your investment is faring, you can pop over and have a look, with adequate warning to the tenant, of course. Because we all understand how a rental property works, it can be easier to relate to investing in a home than in something less tangible such as shares. Leverage your way to gain. Property investment is one of the few investment vehicles in which you can use other people's money, in this case your lenders, to get to your goals. Choose a place to invest. You know you want to be a property investor, but where do you want to invest? Some people choose to buy investment properties in their hoods because they know them well. They know which sort of properties are popular, understand what tenants are looking for, and know the things to watch out for when searching for a place to purchase. Buying an investment near your home can be helpful if you're planning to manage the property yourself too. But other people look further afield, particularly if they are investing in several properties. Diversification gives you broader exposure to the market, and you may identify properties in areas that are a little further from home. There are a few things to consider if you are deciding where you want to buy. A good way to visualize how investing in real estate can build long-term wealth is by drawing a 2-inch line on a piece of paper. The left side of the line represents the current mortgage balance. The right side of the line represents the current value of the home, and the length of the line between the mortgage balance and current value shows the equity in the home. As the mortgage is paid down each month, the left side of the line gets longer because sometimes the loan balance is reduced. As home values increase, the right side of the line also gets longer. increasing accrued equity even more. Over some time, the 2-inch line becomes longer and longer as mortgage payments reduce the loan amount while appreciation increases the home's value. Whether it's a single property brought to recuperate in retirement or a growing portfolio that expands year by year, investing in homes just makes sense to many of us. You know you want to be a property investor, but where do you want to invest? There are a few things to consider if you're deciding where you want to buy. What to ask yourself when deciding where to buy. Who will pay the rent? There are some parts of the country that have very cheap house prices. While these may look like a great deal, there are some points to ponder before jumping in. Consider the population of the area. It is made up of young families or mostly older people. Is the population noticeably aging? This can affect the sort of property that people want to rent, how much they can afford to pay, and the pipeline of future tenants. What sort of employment is available locally? People usually want to live near their jobs or where they are studying. If there is limited employment in the area, that may mean less demand for housing. If there is only one key employer, you may be vulnerable if that business has to decide to move out of town. How is the local economy faring? We talk about the country as a whole, but it's often a mixed picture between regions. Some might be booming while others struggle. You'll tend to see the best rental price growth and capital gains in places that have a strong local economy. Understand what drives it before you jump in. The standard advice is often to look for a place that is near key public transport infrastructure and roads with good access to local amenities. Being in a convenient location not only makes your property desirable to tenants, but pushes up the value. What does the future look like? If you know there are key developments planned for an area, you could look to buy before others caught on to the increasing opportunity. Good examples of this are areas where new roads or public transport connections are planned, or commercial hubs that will attract jobs. I'm very sure this video will be great help for those just starting real estate. Kindly let us know your thoughts in the comments, like this video, and be sure to subscribe too.